Conservatives. So we are.
Hold on a minute. The one in I'll let you speak, but one in, one out. One in, one out.
Saying you could reduce crime to zero overnight.
No.
Watch the moment host Jeremy Kyle grills Labour MP Sam Rushworth on the government's handling of the small boats crisis, energy policy and the rape gangs inquiry. Does the current government have a real plan, or is it just messaging?
But my friend, with the greatest of respect, the reason the Labour Party is or has been in freefall, the reason that they got rid of Keir Starmer is because he hasn't stopped the boats, right? Energy bills have gone through the roof because of Miliband's crazy net zero. This is an absolute fact. We've got an asset in the North Sea which would decrease our huge debt and the billions we pay on interest, a refusal to do that. The rape gang inquiry, because I can tell you, go out there and ask people on the doors, you'll know this. It is disgusting that this stain on British society still hasn't been dealt with or judicially done properly. And you might hate this, because we know what the Parliamentary Labour Party did. If you have in this country a welfare benefits bill that outstrips what the Exchequer gets in tax from people or work, you are in trouble. And Keir Starmer, to his credit, tried to knock a measly £5 billion off a £335 billion deal, and your party wouldn't let that through. I wanted Andy Burnham yesterday to talk about stopping as did the British public in their majority, I would say this, stopping the boats, cutting the welfare benefits, doing something about energy domestically and business-wide, looking into this disgusting rape gang thing that is still prevalent in this country. All of those things he didn't mention. So a bit like you, circuit breaker, 40 years. What about some meat on the bone? And then I hear, oh, they didn't expect to get into power till September. They haven't got a plan. And so a bit like you, the VAT on electricity is just messaging. There's big issues, Sam. With respect, your ex-leader did not sort them out in any way at all. He didn't.
I'm going to take issue with you on a number of points there. I mean, firstly, do you honestly think that there is some magic wand that Keir Starmer kept locked in Downing Street and never got out and used, that you could just wave at problems and fix them? If you look at small boats, the numbers of crossings is down this year compared to last year. Net migration has fallen. There have been more people returned than at any point under the Conservatives.
Not saying you can, mate, but we give France £500 million and they stand on the beaches in France and laugh at us. Starmer's one in, one out.
I'm sorry. That's mythology, frankly. That's mythology. It's not true. The numbers are getting better. And actually what you saw, and Andy Burnham did not yesterday have to mention every single part of his legislative programme and what he intends to do. The fact that he kept Shabana Mahmood in post as Home Secretary, I think was a very strong indication of where he stands on immigration and his determination to tackle it.
Was Starmer weak on immigration? Was Starmer weak on immigration? Was Starmer weak on immigration? Was Starmer weak?
No, I don't think he was. I think, as you say, if you look at every single number around this, it's moving in the right direction. It didn't happen overnight. It never would. Currently, two Reform Party MPs, Suella Braverman and Robert Jenrick, were Home Secretary and Immigration Minister during the height of this crisis.
Yep.
They didn't fix it either. The reason the previous government didn't fix it is because there is no overnight fix to this problem. It's going to take hard work. As I say, just to pretend that you can just stop all boats overnight would be as stupid as saying that you can stop all crime overnight. There are serious criminal gangs that are very good at what they do, and they're constantly circumventing the measures that we put in place.
I don't want you to take me the wrong way. We have different views, and that's a democracy. But if you want to get onto crime, here's what I would do. I wouldn't be doubling my foreign aid budget to 11 billion. I'd be using that money to build prisons. I'd say to my justice secretary, and thank God Lammy's gone. That's me being honest, right? I'd say if you get 5 years, you're going to serve 5 years. I'd be saying if you get found with a knife, you're going to prison, you're not coming out until you've served your time. That's what I'd be doing. It's different ways of looking at stuff, isn't it?
Well, again, you talk about prisons. The previous government in 14 years barely added a dozen prison places.
Absolutely.
Now, under Keir Starmer, we built thousands more prison places. So that is the programme of this government. That's exactly the point I'm making.
Then why did the Labour Party get rid of him then, Sam?
We are building the prison places that our country needs.
Well then, Sam, why did your colleagues get rid of him then, if in your words progress was being made?
I think you know the answer to that. People got jittery about local election results and frightened of losing their seats. And by the way, I'm not here to tell you that everything that I always agreed with Keir Starmer, because I didn't. I agree with some of your criticisms about communication.
Yeah.
I agree with the criticism that Bennett made earlier, that he sort of came in and basically said, guys, everything's going to be bad. And in a way, I think Keir had this sort of belief that we've been putting sticking plasters over problems for too long, and what we need is to look at long-term solutions to the problems our country faces. And yet we've got a country that was crying out for immediate change, and I think we didn't deliver aspects of that change fast enough. Obviously, there were mistakes. Winter fuel allowance was a mistake. I said so within minutes of the policy being announced. So I'm not pretending that everything was perfect. But what I'm saying is, on these key things, and you mentioned prison places, we're the party that's come into power and is building those prison places that the previous lot failed to deliver on. And those people who failed are now Reform Party MPs.
Yeah. Benedict, final word, Benedict.
All I would say just on that final point, though, is if you have a Prime Minister who comes in on his first day and says, actually, we put too many people in prison, because that's actually the thing that everybody remembers about, Starmer's approach to justice. It wasn't that he built more prison spaces at all. He came out and said, we put too many people in prison. And that, I think, sets the tone straight from the bat. And this is, I wonder, is this not actually potentially going to be a problem for Andy Burnham? Because he came in and he said, I'm going to end rough sleeping. When he was Mayor of Greater Manchester, rough sleeping went up. It's a very visible thing that you can't actually hide from. And whilst I think we all accept, and, as I've said, it's a positive thing to get off the front foot on, it's something that you can't avoid long term. Is there, therefore, not an argument to be said he has to go to the country now, before people realise that the tax cuts are not, in fact, tax cuts? They're just making the rises slightly smaller. Before, as we talk about, people realise, there are no quick, fixed solutions. Isn't it in his interest, whilst Reform are struggling and whilst the Tories are deluding themselves that they're back on the rise because Kemi's doing well, to actually go for the jugular and say, now is the time to be bold?
Final answer, Sam.
Sounds like you're suggesting that you go to the country before people realise things. I don't think you should be deceiving the electorate.
You're in politics, Sam. That's what everybody does.
It's going to take. Well, no, we need to do politics differently then, because I think we need to be honest with people. And rough sleeping's a good goal. But you're absolutely right. It's easy to make a big bold announcement about where your heart lies. It's another thing to deliver it, and that's going to be really difficult. And I do hope that we orientate government behind a goal such as that. And I don't think we need a mandate from the British people to end rough sleeping. I think it's pretty clear how they feel about that.
Sam, can I just say, I really appreciate you coming on. For me, that's what it's all about. It's all about debate, and I mean that really, really honest. And your appraisal is your appraisal, and it's important for Benedict and I on this station to get all views. Really appreciate it, my friend. Have a good day.